Hi, I'm astrologer and life coach Penny Dix. Welcome to my YouTube channel and a very big welcome to the sign of Leo. And that's whether your sun is in Leo, your rising sign, also known as the ascendant, or your moon, because this is the ultimate overview for everything you need to know to navigate the year astrologically of 2024. Now, what I've done is I've picked out the very, very main headlines with one or two minor headlines, because really what you need to do is watch my overview for the whole of 2024, which looks at it in a little bit more depth. And that video is already up on my YouTube channel. And that will give you a kind of broader picture of the energies that you can expect for 2024. But let's start with January, because Mercury, as we start the year, the planet of communication, turns direct. And that's on the 2nd of January. And this is in your 5th house, Sagittarius, which I fondly call the house of fun. Of course, actually, it's your house. You originally created it, because the 5th sign of the Zodiac is Leo. And that happens to be the 5th house. But in your sun chart, it is Sagittarius. And it's been retrograde since the 13th of December 2023. So you might have found certain things got a little bit changed. Social plans got altered, things got delayed. But, you know, some of those social plans that got altered, you might have been quite happy about. You know, sometimes Leo just likes to lounge around and enjoy the festive season in that only the way the pussycat can. Just, you know, nibbling a bit of food and watching television. That may be what you choose to do. But anyway, so it goes direct on the 2nd of January. So anything that has been held up to do with communication, however, will start to speed up. And anything to do with your creative projects will get a bit of an extra spurt of energy, especially once it moves out of its shadow, which is a little bit later on in January. Now, there is one very important date in January that you need to be aware of, and this is January the 21st, because this is like a precursor to the main event of the year, which happens in November, which is about my big, small, dwarf planet, Pluto, the planet of transformation, of personal empowerment, of change, of beginnings, of endings. But this planet is just extraordinary. And remember, none of us have experienced Pluto in Aquarius, because it takes around 246, 247 years to go round the sun. Now, the day, the 21st of January, that it moves into Aquarius, which is your 7th house of significant relationships, and did you know it's going to be here for 20 years? So Leo, this could be a good thing or a bad thing, but relationships that you've got will go through extraordinary changes. And if you're looking for a certain someone, they could well turn up. And if something has gone past its life on the shelf date, then this will end. There is nothing woolly about Pluto. If it's going to end, it ends. If it's going to begin, it will begin, and it will last. So interesting energy for you. But also on the 21st, the day Pluto moves into the 0 degree of Aquarius. But remember, it's just having a little look round again, because it's going to slip back into Capricorn and then finally move back into Aquarius at the end of the year. But this is going to give you a taster. You had a little bit of a taster in 2023. It was so fleeting you may not have actually noticed it. But on the 21st, the sun, your ruling planetary object, the sun, our wonderful heart that beats at the center of our solar system, the sun, our fiery passion, moves into Aquarius as well, so that it's conjunct Pluto. This is like the most wonderful introduction that the sun is giving Pluto. It's almost as if the sun is saying, this is great. This is awesome. This is what we want. We need a little bit of upgrading consciously, or conscious upgrading, let's put it round that way. We need people to wake up. We need people, because Aquarius, remember, is about waking up. It's about rebellion. Its ruling planet is Uranus. So, you know, Uranus in Taurus is in your 10th house of career and soul direction. So that is an important day. So I just want to highlight it. It doesn't mean that anything dramatic will happen that day, but it is important. And I think it's just about being mindful of it, being aware of it, and recognizing that whatever your thoughts are that day could have a significant effect for the next 20 years. Now, I'm going to skip ahead because I'm not saying that there aren't important things happening in February and March, because there are, but we would be here all year if I went through everything. And I want to give you the absolute highlights. So I'm going straight ahead to the month of April, because April is a very important year next year, 2024. On the 1st, April Fool's Day, Mercury, our planet of communication, goes retrograde. Well, it would, wouldn't it? Which I think is quite amusing, but it's in Aries in your 9th house. I hope you haven't got any travel plans that get delayed, cancelled. Something like that could come up with that Mercury retrograde. If you've planned a kind of spring break, there could be delays. You may have to, I don't know, rebook something. So just be mindful of that. I think it's also in the 9th house. It's about learning and education. And if you've been doing anything in terms of learning a new topic, a new subject, a kind of adult education subject, maybe you've been learning about astrology, then it's about being given an opportunity to go back and just do a bit of a refresher course, and just really make sure you know what you're working on and that you understand it in the best possible way to take you forward. But then as we go forward to the 8th of April, we have a solar eclipse in Aries, also, of course, in your 9th house. This is because the North Node is there. Now, the North Node is about our collective destiny. For you, Leo, because it's in Aries in your 9th house, and remember, a solar eclipse is always a new moon. So it's about manifesting what you wish to bring into, draw into your life through higher education, through travel of the mind, through literal physical travel. An eclipse can mean that there are delays or changes to whatever is trying to be set in place. And this is a big eclipse because it's a total solar eclipse. Excuse me. It's going to be visible over a lot of the Northern Hemisphere. And I will, of course, do a separate video about it later in the year. And there is another very important date in April that we need to be aware of, which is the 20th of April. And this could be, well, I'm going to say it could be life-changing for you. Not necessarily on the day, Leo, but in general, with whatever it is that you work on. It's in your 10th house, Taurus. This is about your passion, your soul path, the soul direction that you have in life, your soul plan, your soul contracts. This is where we have these wonderful big outer planets, my big boys as I call them, Jupiter, the planet of luck, opportunity, expansion, conjunct our very big boy, Uranus, the planet of shocks, surprises, the unexpected, rebellion, freedom, invention, innovative thinking. You think of these two massive energies coming together in Taurus in your career house, if you still have a career. This is super exciting because even though you may not notice anything, particularly on the day, the energies leading up to it, the events that can be around in the weeks leading up to this conjunction and the weeks beyond could be life-changing for you in terms of the direction of your career. And if there's something that you work on, you're working on that puts you into the public kind of arena, that puts you in the public eye, then this is really going to propel you into the public eye and possibly in quite unexpected ways. And, you know, depending on your kind of lifestyle and the kind of things that you do in your life, depends whether it's on a more local level or a kind of country level or an international level. But that's what can come with this energy. Let's just move on to the 25th of May, because then this wonderful planet of opportunity and luck, Jupiter, moves into your 11th house, Gemini. Now, Gemini, as we know, is about thought and communication. Jupiter is going to have you, certainly your mind, your thinking are going to be absolutely working overtime. You have ideas. You have plans. This would be a good time to think about writing blogs or a book if that's your intention. Ebooks are the way to go. Because remember, traditionally, this is an Aquarius house, so it's about the internet. And it's about the community at large. So this is about putting the information you have, Leo, to the wider community. And Jupiter is going to be here for all of this, or the rest of this year and into 2025. So big things happening for you, big energies that have the potential, if you work with them in your own natal chart. And you know, if you want to understand more about these energies, this is where I'm going to plop a quick advert in, apart from the ones YouTube might pop in, but this is my advert saying, why don't you book a one-to-one session with me? Just go to my website, pennydix.com. I'm afraid I'm a bit of a dinosaur and I organise things in the old-fashioned way. You have to email me via my website, pennydix.com. I will reply and we will find a suitable time for us to meet that suits our own particular time zones, because I have a lot of clients in the United States, I have clients in Australia, so I'm in Central European time. So I've got this way, that way. So why not book a session with me, which will be the payment. I send you a PayPal request. As I say, I'm a bit of a dinosaur. That might change this year. There could be a lot of things that will change, but for now, at the time of recording, that's still the way I'm doing it. And then we do the session via Skype. And you know, Skype, I'm really liking. I'm really all for Skype, because recording on it is really easy and you just have the recording instantly to download and save. How cool is that? Anyway, coming back to your chart for 2024, there's one particular date in July you need to be super mindful of, because you could lose the plot a bit in terms of getting very angry. Because in your 10th house Taurus, which is the house of career, where you work hard, where you're really kind of, you know, getting to grips with all your projects and soul plan ideas and career ideas and projects. Listen, even if you're retired, remember, there are things that you will be passionate about. You might be volunteering for something. You might be doing things that bring in anything that keeps this thing working. This is the most important thing we have to do. And just leaping back a moment to that Jupiter conjunct Uranus, that is going to elevate everyone's consciousness. We're just going to be seeing things in ways like we're joining a super conscious highway. It's going to be super exciting how we're just going to all become that much more aware of higher frequencies, higher energies, light energies, and that there are many dimensions in our universe that we can have access to, not just what we see, feel, hear and touch. This is like fully moving into the 5th dimension. That's what 2024 is about. But back to what I was saying about the 15th of July, because Mars, our planet of energy, action, assertion, aggression, sometimes it can mean surgery or having to surgically get rid of something, some object, some body from work. But it's conjunct Uranus, my big boy Uranus, our planet of the unexpected. Either you get really very angry about something, and why I'm giving you the heads up about this is take a breath. Remember your blood pressure. Take a step back and breathe, Leo. Breathe. Respond. Don't react. Because if there is something that is not quite working out with regards to your projects, your career, your plans, see it as divine intervention. It's not the right time for whatever it is you're rushing ahead, trying to get set in stone. Let it go. Let it be. Take a step back and see the bigger picture, Leo. Now let's move on to where Pluto has moved back into Capricorn in your 6th house. So this is to tidy up anything to do with your daily routine. And this is the 2nd of September. By the way, the summer, June and July, there are a few things happening, but there's nothing that I think needs a heads up at this particular time. So take that as a positive. So on the 2nd of September, Pluto in Capricorn is in your 6th house. And it's just going to be there until it goes direct on the 11th of October. So it really is a tidying up. If there are any health issues that you have left unaddressed, this would be a good time between September and October, that kind of month in between, to organise them, book the appointments, get them in place so that you can focus on other things. Now, by the 17th of September, we have a lunar eclipse, which means it's a full moon in Pisces. And this, of course, is in your 8th house. Now, this is the part of the chart that can be to do with your joint finances, your investments. It's a full moon. So it's about bringing closure to something, or to something that's shared or joint. This can even mean something of value that has to change. Something perhaps of value that you decide to realise. You know, some valuable object that you decide to sell. I mean, we've no idea what the economy is going to be doing in 2024, but with some of the energies, the astrological energies, and as I say, I refer you back to my overview for 2024, you know, I don't think it's going to be an easy ride again for any of us financially. So there's that full moon lunar eclipse in Pisces on the 17th. And of course, it'll be followed by a new moon solar eclipse in your 3rd house, Libra, the part of your chart to do with communication, on the 2nd of October. So this is a new moon. Remember, a solar eclipse is a new moon. This would be a great time. Have you written a book? Maybe you've taken some time out this year, 2024. This would be a good time to look at doing the final edit and seeing whether it's in a good state to move on to the next stage. It may not be something as grand as that. It may just be that you are finding your feet in how you present yourself and how you communicate what you want to communicate. And also, it's so balanced. I think that's the lovely thing for you about having Libra in this part of your chart. There is such balance here. So if we move swiftly on to the 11th of October, Pluto, my big dwarf planet, remember the planet of transformation, finally goes direct in Capricorn in your 6th house. If you haven't sorted out what you need to sort out to do with anything to do with health, then do it now. Get it sorted. Address it. Because by the 19th of November, it will move finally into your 7th house of Aquarius. This is big. This is exciting. And I think that this is going to help you. If you're single and you haven't met someone who is on the same kind of spiritual path as you, same kind of spiritual awareness as you, then Pluto's going to help bring that into your life. If you are not, or don't think you're particularly spiritually aware, by the time the next 20 years are over, you will be. Pluto will see to that. Because Aquarius, remember, is a sign of these higher energies and higher consciousness. So you will be enjoying transformative relationships. I was going to say arrangements, but maybe I do mean that. Perhaps you will be having what I would call, what's the word? Relationships that are a little bit unusual. People that, you know, just kind of unusual arrangements. And I can't, there is a word, and of course I can't think of it. Unconventional. That's the word I'm looking for. You know, Pluto in this sign could be bringing in unconventional relationships. And you know what, Leo? It might suit you very well. You know, I think we're moving into a society where the need for people to live together and sleep in the same bed when they're a bit older is becoming less kind of important. It's more about having one's space, enjoying things together, having one's own bed, going to bed when one wants to go to bed, cuddling when one wants to, but sleeping alone also when one wants to. And I think we're going to see more of that, not just for Leo, but for the whole of humanity with Pluto in Aquarius. I think it is going to change our whole view of relating. Now, a few things before we finish off, that sounds good, 2024, I don't mean that. Before we actually conclude your reading for 2024. Back to good old Mercury. Now, at the time of recording, Mercury is about to go retrograde in Sagittarius. Guess what? On the 26th of November next year, 2024, Mercury will go retrograde in Sagittarius, in your house of fun again, slowing things down for you to, you'll have had quite a ride. I think by the time it gets to November, the end of November, you'll be quite thankful to sit back and just have a little bit of a relax and just enjoy what's going on around you and a little bit of socializing. And that Mercury goes direct on the 15th of December, still in your 5th house. But we've got another retrograde, interestingly, in your sign. And this is Mars. Now, Mars, of course, a fire sign like your sign, but it's a cardinal planet because it rules Aries. Mars went retrograde in your sign going back 18 months, a couple of years ago. And here it is going retrograde in your sign again. How is this going to help or hinder you, Leo? Well, it goes retrograde on the 6th of December. I think you've been kind of moving through 2024 almost on overdrive. And Mars slowing down and turning retrograde is like you taking your foot off the accelerator and just having a little bit of downtime, out time, kind of alone time to just reflect. Look at where 2024, if you've applied yourself and worked with the astrology of your own natal chart, your natal map, this will be a time to think about what an extraordinary year it's been for you. Mars will be retrograde until February 2025. And it doesn't go direct in Cancer, in your 12th house, which is really about that inner reflection, until February the 24th. So the whole of the kind of Christmas period and New Year period of 2024 going into 2025, I think would be a time of celebration for you, Leo. A time to celebrate, a time to relax, a time to, as I said, take your foot off the accelerator and actually, as I said, celebrate, to look at what you've achieved. Because my gosh, my God, it could be quite amazing. And that's up to you, Leo. And on that note, I'll bring your 2024 ultimate overview forecast to an end. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you've not already, I would really appreciate that. And remember, there's still my, on my website, you can still download and buy my beginner's guide to reading your natal chart. And there's going to be some additions to that, which will also be downloadable. But I haven't done them yet, but they will be there at some point in the near future. And there's also the lovely moon calendar done by the lovely Andrea. So, you know, that's also ready to buy. And it's good to know the phases of the moon. Really good. I'm learning a lot doing my weekly events because I didn't realise that full moons are not good days to have surgery. So remember that. Never book surgery for a full moon day. Most other days are okay, but not a full moon. So anyway, on that note, thank you so much for all the support that you give my channel and me. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.